we're going to do something a little bit different. This is a replay of a live art chat I had with Lam Jasmine Art. And many of you know her from her beautiful pours on her YouTube channel. But she also does these amazing fine art pieces. But more than that, I'd like to pick her mind. She's just a brilliant and super smart woman, and I'd love for you to hear some of our conversations. You can join my Facebook group, Inspired Art with Heather Mader, for more art connections. We go on there and talk about a lot of things live, and it's pretty fun, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get her in the video here. Hi!
Hi!
How cool to see you.
Yeah.
All right. So, first of all, my phone keeps slowly going down, so I have to make sure.
Yeah.
So, welcome everybody. It's very exciting to have my friend here today with me doing this wonderful live. And I'm just gonna kind of kill a little bit of time here for a few minutes while people get the notification, if you don't mind. One of the things I want to do is show my artwork that I have of hers, and I have this beautiful piece right here. This is so pretty. You know, when I first saw her art on YouTube, I was mesmerized by the peaceful, gentle, I don't know, I just had this feeling when I saw your videos and I saw your artwork, so beautiful, and it just really resonated with me, and I just took what my grandpa would call a shine to you. And I've always had a shine for you, and that goes deep into my spirit. So thank you so much for joining me today. The next thing I wanted to say for anybody who's just still, we're just kind of waiting for them to come on, is I started another one. Yeah, so I've been doing these little mixed media pieces, and she's coming along nicely. So
yeah, I've seen it of them. You're really developing your style.
Thank you. Well, you know how it is with style. It's always like, I think with regards to style, we start one place, and as an artist, we continue to use all the tools in our toolbox. And so what I'm really kind of doing this last year is just figuring out like what my toolbox is, right?
Yes, exactly. You're developing, and that's what it's all about.
Speaking of your paintings, like, I think your pour paintings are absolutely stunning, and I still love them. I love where you're going with that, but you've taken your artwork to a whole different level. Can you speak a little bit about that real quick?
Well, see, at the beginning of lockdown, I was not able to work because I'm a massage therapist, so obviously all the spas were closed down. So, and I am not a person who can stop working. I always need to find something to do. So art came to my rescue, because right at the same time, the same week, it was like 2 days after my 48th birthday, my spa was closed down. And 2 days later, I found out this online art program that are taught by a mother and daughter team, and I absolutely fell in love with their style. And I've never seen artwork like that, and so I contacted them and said, I have never picked up a paintbrush before. You claim that you can train from absolute beginner to professional 1 year. Is it possible? And they're like, well, no, we've trained a lot of people like that. And at that time, I was very doubtful. And also, I didn't know how to pay for it, but I decided to listen to my spirit and just go with it. And now within 1 year, I started painting, figures and dancers and portraits and things that I could only dream to paint before. And this is one that I've been working on. it's slow going, but it is going. And I have so much. I just feel so much joy working on them, and also it brings me to. It brings me to have deeper understanding of why I'm drawn to art, why I want to keep doing art, because art is exhausting. As
yes,
Heather,
I know.
art is exhausting.
Yay! I feel you there.
Yeah, but the reason we keep doing that, because there is a bigger purpose. It's not just to pass the time. Because
I agree totally.
Yeah, because our spirit calls us to express ourselves, and it is not just for ourselves, it's for humanity.
And these are like the beautiful conversations that we have, and I've been so blessed to be able to have some of these private conversations with you about spirit directed art, art and healing, connectivity, like how art connects to all of us and all of those things. And these are some of the things that we talk about in private. I thought it would just be so fun to be able to bring some of these conversations to people. And so I appreciate you being here right now. And yeah.
I love having conversation with you, as I have told everybody, and I'll say it over and over again. You are my inspiration. You are the reason why I started pouring. It's because I saw your videos on YouTube and I fell in love with your artistry. Yeah,
thank you. That always, I still get humbled because I just do. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I still get humbled when I hear that. I don't know what to say, but thank you. And so it's a mutual admiration society, exactly. Pretty much. One thing you brought up is that you are, maybe people don't know, but you're a massage therapist. And so one of the questions I had for you was, how does art heal? And, because we have a lot of ways of healing, including massage and diet and meditation and all these things. But what are one of the ways that you feel that art heals for you personally?
Well, personally, for one thing, art gives us an outlet for us to express our emotions, which is very important because nowadays we, as human race, we progress in our technology, but we become more and more isolated.
Exactly. Especially over like the pandemic, and everything has been really isolating.
Well, yeah, even before the pandemic, out of 5 Americans feels lonely. And the study came, that was pre-pandemic data. And it was already 3 out of 5. So now after the pandemic, think about how much worse it is.
Well, and I think
the thing is that
5, that's insane. That's, I guess I didn't realize that it was that bad, Yeah,
I didn't realize that. And before, I'm talking about in the past, like in the 1980s or whatever, when you ask an average American, like how many people they can trust to call when they are in a crisis, like when we fall into hardship, who can we call? Who can we trust? Back in the days, they can list like 5 people. Nowadays, they can list 0.
Woo, yeah. Right.
That's the kind of isolation we are facing. And to me, art is a way for us to feel connected because in one way, when we are isolated, we cannot express ourselves. We have no outlet. We have nobody to talk to, but we can express through art. We can voice our feelings and our opinions through art. And now for the people who, for the audience, when they look at a piece of art, they are actually making a connection with the artist, because study has shown that when we look at a piece of art, we are potentially firing the same neural circuits as the artist. And
okay, so stop right there. Okay, so why I love you, right? This is why this makes me so happy, these conversations, because so what you're saying is, and this is something like I felt internally forever, but you're saying that studies show that when you look at a piece of art, the same neurons are firing as the artist who created it.
Yes, exactly. And that is called embodied cognition.
Embodied what?
Cognition, connection, whatever. And that is, and to me that, well, I mean, I was surprised that there's actually scientific proof, but I have always contend that whenever we produce art or experience art, whether it is visual art or it is music or it is dance, whatever, that's a soul-to-soul connection going on. That is beyond words, that is beyond our language, and it goes right into our subconscious, and that's why it is so effective. That's so and that is so profound. And when we look at a piece of art that we resonate with, we actually, well, the brain will actually produce the same brain chemicals as when we are falling in love.
Oh, it's like dopamine and serotonin and
yes,
and yeah.
When we look at art, the brain instantaneously produces dopamine and serotonin, and it also elevates our endorphin level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is better than exercise, because exercise, it takes 20 minutes to release endorphin.
Right, and so we can look at art and feel that
never get
instantaneously.
endorphin. I don't know why. Yeah, so
that's awesome. So, and this explains why we do the crazy things that we do. Like you said, art is exhausting. It's time consuming, it's expensive, like all of these things that are kind of stacked against us as artists, but yet we keep rising to the task. Why?
Yeah.
Because it stimulates the inner part of us, the inner, you can call this whatever you want. If you want to be scientific, you can call it endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, like all the connections are synapses. Or if you want to associate that with the spirituality, you could say it resonates with our energy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And our energy fields. This is what I have always, if you don't mind me saying, this is what I have always felt when I create art. I'm in a flow, almost a state of meditation.
Yes.
When I create art, it's very meditative for me. I kind of zone out. I think anytime that we zone out, but we're still connected to something, that's what meditation literally is about, is letting go of the external. In that moment, you don't have a body, you don't have a brain, you don't have your bills, you don't have your kids yelling at you, you don't have anything. You just have that extreme focus, and then a release, and then there's something that flows in, and that's that energy. So it makes total sense that it translates into the art, and then the viewer also feels that. And I think that's why also like you, I'm only going to resonate with certain people, and those are the people that are going to be resonating with me as a person, with me as an artist, because they're actually getting to feel some of the things that I'm feeling. So I love that you put that into words so we could understand that. It's awesome.
Yes, exactly. And for me, as you can see, that I am more of a left brain person, and but when I do art, especially when I do acrylic pours, I mean, talk about the power of now, because when you pour, you cannot prepare them. You cannot plan out. It all happens in the moment. It all happens in the now. All your decisions has to be now, right there. And so you can't think of anything else but what is going on that canvas. And that, to me, that is very freeing. I mean, because I get out of my own way. I say, I cannot reason anything. I just have to.
Yep. And I think fluid art was like that for me too, because you have to kind of let go of the outcome. And there's areas in my life where I've had to do this in order to have success, like my chef business. You just do your best, and then you hope that people like your food. You don't know if more clients are coming. There's a certain amount of uncertainty in starting your own business of any kind, but you have to have kind of a leap of faith. And once I equated my art with that, I was like, oh, I can't control everything that happens, but what I should do is paint, pour the paint out of the cup and then see what it wants to be and follow the path it's creating for me.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to control so much. And that's really helped me, like, in my personal life too. So yeah.
Exactly. And it took me a long time to get to that point in when I did massage, because I have a massage therapist for 14 years. And my boss, he's always like, you gotta get out your own way, just let it flow. And that is when the most, miraculous healing happen, is like when I am not thinking about anything, not thinking about technique, not thinking about like what muscles goes where. There were sometimes, like there were several times actually, that I did not sleep at night because I was doing art. So when I'm massaging, I was like half asleep myself. And then the client get off the table and said, this is the best massage I've ever had.
Right? Because you're just free and in the moment. You're just allowing you're allowing like kind of spirit to just move through you, basically your energy to just move through you. And I think we're giant conduits to our greater source energy. That's
exactly. So yeah, the most important thing is that when we get into that flow state, when we are completely focused in the moment, it's like we let go of our ego, because our ego just doesn't exist at that state. We're not thinking about ourselves. We are not thinking about, oh, who is going to buy my art? How am I going to make money? Are people going to like that? No, it's not thinking about any of that. We're just focusing on whatever flows through us, that goes through us onto the canvas. And that's what makes art so great.
And so healing as well.
Yeah,
honestly, because all of us know that meditation serves a purpose for healing. It's proven. Like, there's no doubt about it that meditation assists with all kinds of healing, mental, physical, whatever. So, but not all of us meditate. So, but if you're painting, it is a way to connect with meditation in that, affords some of the healing. So yeah, I think it's just amazing. One thing you brought up was processing emotions, which, I think holding things in gives you cancer. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that, but I really feel that there's a connection between not expressing your emotions and getting sick.
Especially breast cancer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because we hold so much inside, because we are supposed to care for everyone and never care for ourselves. We're supposed to please everyone, but never, just be nice, never say anything, not butt head against anyone. And so we hold so much inside, and that will manifest into some physical symptom eventually, unless we let it out.
I agree. So, and that's one of the ways that art really, really, really promotes healing, and why art therapy is a thing, right? And that's something I always wanted to get into, was art therapy, but maybe in another life, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
You are already on art therapy.
That's true. Yeah. So I wonder if anybody has any questions for either one of us. We would be happy to answer. I also want to say that this conversation is going to be even more in depth, and we're going to continue this conversation again on Instagram later this month, right?
Yes.
That was something we talked about, and so it'll be exciting. You can join us over there. It's going to be basically the same kind of format. And we're going to continue these types of art chats. I love, I just love speaking with you. So I had a question about this. So we talked about water before, right? Dr. Is it Marumoto?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
EMOTO. Emoto.
Right, Emoto. So
Mhm.
Dr. Emoto, and talking about how they, they did all these scientific experiments and found that water actually kind of has a memory, and it holds a pattern of the energy signatures that it's been in contact with, right?
Yes.
So in that way, I've been wondering about fluid art,
No.
because we use a ton of water, right, in our paintings. And so does that mean that each one of our paintings has like it has
energy. A signature for sure. Our energy signature, and also our emotional state, it reflects it. And actually, it's not just fruit art. Any art we do will carry our energy. Because my ex-boss, he is energy sensitive. He can see energy. He can see aura. He can see past life, everything. And he would say, he would actually critique my artwork and say, okay, I love the energy of this one. Oh, this one you are in a little bit of haste. This one you're too tired. He would see the energy just from my postings on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he could feel that. And I think people definitely, I've had people say, oh, you're going through a hard time, and I'm like, how do you know? But it comes across in the things, especially those of us who are so active on social media, and we're always posting our paintings. And I think so it just got me to thinking about that whole water thing, and how people that own your art actually do own a little piece of you. Like literally, they have a little piece of you. And I've been feeling like, when I put my art out there, I'm really putting a little piece of my soul out there for people. Mm-hmm. And my partner's like, oh, that sounds too serious. But don't you feel that way too?
Oh yes, definitely. My paintings are my babies.
Right, exactly.
And when obviously I'm sending my baby off to their new home.
Mm-hmm. And have you ever had one that you're just so sad? Like I've had some that I'm like, I hope you don't sell soon. Because I want to look at you more. I want to feel the energy of it more. And then, there's some that it's easier to let go of than others, right?
Yes, definitely. There are some we just are more invested in or more resonate with. Yeah, even though we spend just as much time on one piece as another, but there is a difference in because every piece of art that we make is unique, is individual, because we are not like run of the mill. We like, I know you are not content with just doing one style. You
think?
Yeah,
I know.
But I think that is art. That is art. If we want to grow as artists, then we need to experiment and try different things, and constantly growing in our skills, in our perspective, in our sensibilities, our taste. Everything needs to grow so that we can make better art and bring better energy into the world.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that, because I met someone who was a very powerful psychic intuitive, and this was like, I don't know, 5 to 7 years ago. And he sat me down one day and he said, Heather, there's going to be a great time of turmoil on our planet. It's going to affect everyone. There's going to be a massive, I forgot the word, ascension, which means a lot of people are going to die. And during this time, you are going to bring so much peace and joy, and you're going to play an integral role in keep maintaining joy for others. And I was like, dude, this dude is crazy. Like, this dude, I'm not capable of that. Don't look to me, because that's not me. I'm not going to be able to, like, it just seemed insane. But then now that this whole thing has happened, and 2020 was the time I decided to go live for a year, on my YouTube channel, and I just got so many people who wrote in and said, thank you so much for going live. I have something to look forward to. We're all stuck in our houses, you know, no way to connect with each other, and I look forward to it every single week. And I remembered that guy saying that, and I thought, you know, we each have a role to play. Mm-hmm. We don't know what that role is, and we don't know how we're going to affect other people. But, you know, for me right now, just doing art and being my best self in that way, I feel like that's my contribution to the betterment, you know?
Totally. And art is, well, I mean, I grew up in a culture of practicality. Like my family, literally, they have never bought. I mean, I'm talking about my entire extended family. My father and mother, aunts and uncles, cousins, whatever. My entire family, they have never bought a single piece of art. That is the culture I grew up in.
Wow.
So for me, so to me, art was always a luxury or something frivolous. But the more I do art and the more I appreciate art, I come to realize that there's a reason why art was never obsolete. What the art was never, you know, what do you call it? Eliminated from human history. There is actually very practical reason for the existence of art. Is because art not only is our legacy, but it is also very important in keeping our emotional health as a human race, or also our you know, keeping us unified as a human race.
I agree.
Because when you think about it, 1,000 years later, maybe 10,000 years later, when the human race is gone from this planet, what is left? When some aliens species come over and say, "Oh, what is left of this previous culture in there? What is left? Can they read our computer files?
Nope.
Can they read our text? No. But if they see a piece of art, they see a piece of painting, they will see, oh, that's what they look like. That's what they love. That's their sense of beauty. That's their history. That's the record of our existence. Just like the caveman. What do we know about the caveman's life?
But it's so powerful. Like if you think about the impact, and you don't think about that when you're just doodling or whatever, but it's really powerful. And I think that's an amazing place for us to close out today. I want to thank you so much to everyone who watched and who participated. At some point, the comments stopped for me, so I was unable to see any more comments. I don't know why. I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Yeah, I'm not able to see any.
Yeah. So if you had been commenting and had questions, we are going to continue this, like I said, on Instagram later on this month. I'll let you know when. Also, thank you so much for coming here. I appreciate and love you so much, my sister. And I would love to have you anytime. I hope that it's like been a fantastical journey watching you grow into this amazing work that you're doing. You gave me inspiration the last year to keep going. And I still, every single solitary day, look at your work. Every single day I look at your work and think, if she can do it, maybe I can too. So,
and you are my inspiration. I know I don't know your full capability, but I have full confidence that you can do whatever amazing art you set out to do.
Well, thank you, my dear. So on that note, I wanted to mention before we go, I don't know if you want to go now, if you can, or you can stay, whatever you want to do, Lam. But I wanted to say to everybody, also coming up on Instagram in 2 weeks, Friday the 20, I don't have a calendar, the 25th or 23rd or something around there, Friday. Sarah Taylor and I are going to be doing a little interview. I'm going to interview Sarah Taylor. So if you are interested in hearing what she has to say, so I think that'll be fun too.
Yeah,
so
that'd be great. All right.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Yeah. Time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Join us on Instagram to continue this conversation on Sunday, the 18th at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And thank you so much, Lam. We love you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit all notifications so I can make more art videos just for you.